Bruce fans, Orioles, a winning baseball team. We love it. Colton Cowser, my Colton Cowser, and I'll argue that one all day. 2 walk-offs over the weekend. Orioles win last night 6-1. Shane Baz, excellent pitching performance, 7 innings. And that is a little more like it. We absolutely love that. Welcome to Joe Rossano's Orioles Report with the brilliant Michael Sullivan is next. Welcome to Joe Rossano's Orioles Report with the brilliant Michael Sullivan. As mentioned, Michael Sullivan, they're winning, and I dig that about them.
Yeah.
Colton Cowser, 8 games on the bench. Dylan Beavers goes down. Colton gets another opportunity. Is he hitting 480? No, but I'll tell you what, he got some big hits in some big situations, Michael Sullivan. What say you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. What is it? Is it 4 of 5 as of right now? I think so.
4 out of 5.
Yeah, 4 out of 5. Yeah, it's really encouraging. It's nice to have something encouraging to talk about the way this season has gone up to this point. Cowser, as you mentioned, I think the thing that I'm most encouraged by is that in their last 3 starts, Kyle Bradish, Shane Baz, and Brandon Young, for each of them over the last 3 starts, their ERA is under 2.5. And, I don't expect that to continue. But Kyle, Bradish has got his ERA under 4 for the season. Baz is gotten to 4.3 or 4.4, amazing considering how he started. And Young has just been pretty consistent since he's gotten an opportunity to pitch. So those are 3 guys, right? So I mean, if they could just get Rogers going, that would be fantastic. And by the time this airs or streams, we will have seen Trey Gibson again because he's due to start against the Rays in the closer of that series tonight. So I think there's cause for optimism with the pitching staff.
Now, you took the words right out of my mouth. Tonight, Trey Gibson opposing Steve Matz, Tampa Bay Rays. Now, Michael, here's my question. They had a doubleheader. They need a spot starter. Now, maybe... obviously you're smarter than I am. So tell me where I'm going wrong here. What is the need for the spot starter? If Chris Bassitt pitched tonight, he would be pitching on his normal turn. Any idea why they did this?
I didn't really dig into that today, Joe. I don't know, for instance, what his track record is against the Rays. I didn't take a look to see, what kind of lineup they're putting out there tonight, or maybe they just want to give him
as bad as Gibson's. I mean,
maybe they just want to give him an extra day's rest. It could be any of those. It could be any of those.
For sure.
Right?
I was just surprised.
They might be trying to line it up so that, they can go with a opener again with Keegan Aiken. And we may still see that because I don't know that they're going to go. I mean, if it's Gibson today, I guess they'll go to back. No, then it should be Young. And then it would be Bradish on regular rest. But, we talked about this before the season started, and you were an advocate of it, is making sure that guys got a little bit more rest. And it could be that's what they're doing here.
Well, the Blue Jays in tomorrow night, Michael Sullivan, the probable pitcher for tomorrow night is Chris Bassitt against Patrick Corbin. 6:35 game. So again, that is the probable pitcher for tomorrow night. So yeah, we may see Keegan Aiken if he does not pitch tonight. That is, I imagine that we should see him for an inning tomorrow, and then Bassitt, from the second inning on. But again, I was just surprised. But perhaps Chris Bassitt has better numbers against the Toronto Blue Jays. We'll dig into that, but that is certainly possible. So have they turned the corner? I mean, are we seeing better baseball out of the Orioles? Again, they counterpunched and won on Monday. I counted them out 3 times during that game.
Yeah,
I have to be honest with you. And again, to see them continue to fight, continue to come back, okay, you heard it here. I will give some credit to Craig Albernaz for something like that. When a team plays all 27 outs, or in this case, all 35 outs, I would have to say that they compete to the end, and I was very happy to see that particular game. And the game one against Detroit, when Cowser had the 3-run home run in, I believe, the bottom of the ninth inning against Kenley Jansen, probably a Hall of Fame closer, uh, down to their final strike. And again, games like that really do switch a momentum, make a team feel better. In addition, as you alluded to, Michael, Shane Baz pitching better, Kyle Bradish pitching better. Brandon Young has pitched extremely well, except for his start against the Astros in the second game of a doubleheader. But Trevor Rogers is supposed to be the guy.
Yeah, he's supposed
And
to be the guy, and we'll have to see. You posed a question, and then you made a statement. Your
Mhm.
your statement was that we're seeing better baseball, and then your question was, have they
Yes,
turned a corner? And
good.
I say
Yes, please.
absolutely, we're seeing better baseball. Have they turned a corner? I'm not ready. I'm not ready to say that yet. I mean, I sure am hopeful, but and there is a lot of things to be hopeful about. Uh, I saw somebody, and I'm sure you saw these remarks that Ben McDonald made, sort of like saying they just got to play baseball, they got to play harder, they got to stop worrying about analytics, they got to right.
Yep, I sure
And,
did.
and I saw someone comment. It's like, well, I guess the players heard Ben McDonald. It's too bad it took him saying it instead of the manager. And I'm like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
That's just
Well,
that's just BS. Like, you think the players went in and listened to Ben McDonald's remarks? Of course they did. I will say, and I know the people who despise analytics won't like this, but I do believe what we're seeing is a return to normal performance by a lot of guys. The pitchers for certain, right? Bradish is getting back to the type of performance he's demonstrated he can do, right? It was
right.
unusual for him to be performing the way he was. Baz, sort of the same thing. Now, he's never been as good as Bradish, but he's getting back to the level that at least we expected him to be at. Brandon Young, that's an outlier because I don't know that we knew what he was going to be. But they're not the only ones, right? I mean, we saw with Rutschman, Ward has sort of come back with his average. But I like to think that what we're seeing is some leveling off of performance by guys. Like, they couldn't be as bad as they were because they have all demonstrated that they're better than that. Now, I'm not saying that means they're all going to get back to the place we thought they would be, but if there's just improvement, incremental improvement by guys who were, really stinking it up, that's going to make a significant difference. I saw somebody talking about the Cubs recently, and the Cubs have lost 10 straight games. And despite that, having lost 10 straight games, they might still be 3 games above 500 because they started off so strong. And what the guy said is, the guys that you all loved when they were 13 games above 500 are the same guys that are now on a 10-game losing streak. They didn't change.
Right.
The players are the same. But I do believe, particularly when it comes to hitting, that hitting is contagious, both good and bad. When somebody's struggling and then another guy struggles, everybody starts to press, and it becomes a mental issue. And I think when people start to get hot, people relax and think, I don't have to do as much, and then they do better.
And we appreciate you hanging out with us. God bless you. Don't forget to adopt a pet. I figure I'll end the show right here, Michael.
Yeah, it's fine
Well,
by me.
because we really agree on this one. No, but Michael, interestingly enough, as you said, the Cubs have lost 10 in a row. They are currently 29 and 26, still 3 games above 500. However, the Brewers are 13 games above 500, winners of 7 of their last 10. So again, the American League East, okay, so you have the Yankees, you have the Rays, but the Jays, the Orioles, the Red Sox, all under 500. The White Sox in second place in the Central at 500. The Tigers are 13 games under. I mean, just things that, you didn't think that you would see. The Astros 8 under. The Rangers are 4 under. The Mariners are 2 under. And the first place Athletics are 27 and 28. So this is rather strange.
It is.
That you have a team under 500 in first place in the division. So, as you alluded to, I think maybe a week or so ago, the Orioles are still well within the hunt of the wild card.
2 games. They're 2 games back.
I'd like to see a dogfight in September, all the way to the end. Let's go. Let's get them in the postseason. And let's see if they learn their postseason sweep lessons.
Well, I mean, it might shake out, but right now there's 5 teams within 3.5 games of the last wild card spot, and every one of them has a losing record.
Right.
So I'm going to be out at the yard tonight, which will probably be like the kiss of death. I'm going to be there, so
Well, they won on opening day.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
then they lost when you went and saw who? Boston?
Yeah, they lost one when I was there. They won on opening day. We'll see what happens tonight.
Okay, well, maybe this is your lucky game. Don't go to any more after tonight. Then
we'll see.
So let me ask you this, Michael: Are you in the upper tank, or are you in? Did they give you your suite back? What happened there?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to rough it out on the club level, Joe.
On the club level, okay, but they sent a car for you, though, right?
Yeah. If a car was sent for me, it's merely an Uber.
Yeah, it's merely an Uber. But at the end of the day, Michael, do you see the Orioles trading some of their minor league talent at the deadline if they're buyers for a starting pitcher? I mean, I'm talking like possibly the Trey Gibsons or a Bradfield or somebody like that, or a Kerstad in a package.
It
Mayo,
depends how they're doing, Joe, and it depends how those pitchers are doing. I mean, it depends how, does Rogers bounce back and look anything like he looked at all last year, right? What if Trey Gibson pitches well enough that you put him in the rotation? I sure wouldn't guarantee it, because I don't know that he's, we all know how loath Mike Elias is to give up prospects, and he already gave up several to get Shane Baz. And, when you think about it, Taylor Ward is on a 1-year contract. Colton Cowser, only has this year on his contract. Colton Cowser, is he going to stop hitting 200? What once looked like a crowded outfield picture sure doesn't look that way anymore. And so, trading Bradfield, they might not be in a position where they can, afford to trade that depth. I don't know. We'll see.
What I would like to do, I think maybe next show, Michael, is I'd like to get some injury updates here. And I'm talking Ryan Helsley. And I understand there was no structure damage. He's on a throwing program.
Yeah.
Really would like to see him come back. Dylan Beavers, Dean Kramer has yet to start a rehab assignment. Now, Andy Koska, who was on a couple of weeks ago, did say that Dean Kramer was a few weeks away still with that quad strain. So I want them to keep getting their guys back.
Yeah.
And I would really like for this young man, Trey Gibson, to pitch well tonight.
So would I.
I'd love to see it.
And I'd like to see Beavers return to health and Kerstad hit enough on his rehab assignment that Tyler O'Neill goes. Just goes.
Everybody says that, right? I mean, Michael, I'm the kind of guy, like Tyler O'Neill is probably going to hit 8 home runs in the month of August, when we need him the most. I mean, if we're winning and he's playing this poorly, I mean, they paid him a lot of money. I mean, again, they're either going to eat that money, eat that contract, or I can't imagine, or they're going to have to keep him. I mean, again, when in 20, now I'm going back to 2024 here, when I would watch the Orioles play the Red Sox and he would come up to the plate, I was scared. I was like, oh man, it's O'Neill.
They got him to hit
31 home runs
left-handers.
that year.
They got him to hit left-handers, and he's like the worst guy against left-handed pitching on the team. And you're right.
Shame.
They paid him a lot of money, but as somebody reminded me online the other day, it's a sunk cost. You're going to pay him the money no matter what. The question is, are you going to pay him the money and have him actually hurt the performance of the team? Or are you just going to pay him the money and get him out of here? And then he'll go hit 8 home runs in August for somebody else. With half of them probably against us.
With that being said, tonight again, O's fans, the Orioles take on the Tampa Bay Rays. Game 3 of the series. Orioles win the first 2. Michael Sullivan will be at the Oriole game. So anybody sees Michael out there, don't forget to say hello. Maybe get a selfie with Michael Sullivan if he's kind enough to oblige. I will be here Friday, 1 p.m. Birdland Mailbag Live with your pal Joe Rossano and anybody who wants to join me, because I like what somebody else does. If Michael here is available, I'd love to have you.
Yeah.
It would be great. And as always, O's fans, we greatly appreciate you hanging out with us. Please click that subscribe button, hit like, share, comment, click the notification bell for our latest episodes of Joe Rossano's Orioles Report with the brilliant Michael Sullivan. For the handsome Matt Faulkner, I am Joe Rossano. If you get a moment, folks, please dock yourself a pet. I say God bless you, O's fans. Let's go O's with Michael Sullivan out there tonight, folks.
Go tonight.
God bless you, O's fans, and we'll see you next time.
See you.